Let's see, not muted. Okay.
Wait, are you streaming right now?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just record like one? Never mind.
Go.
Never mind, you're streaming.
I can mute it. My guest isn't. Alright, let's get this open. So, oh, let's get that hidden there. So, I don't know what exactly I want to be doing yet. I am still deciding what I'm gonna draw. I've got commission stuff that I can't work on yet, or can't work on stream. I guess I can be really boring and try and recreate the, nah, that wouldn't work. I should just wait for a vector artist to try and recreate that new frame. Let's see. See, I still haven't decided what I want to actually, like, draw yet. I have both my pixel art program and my, I just noticed the pixel art one doesn't have the chat box, so let me fix that. There we go, just put chat over my face. And there's just a color box there, so that's fine. Desk cam is off. Let's see. So yeah, I'm not sure what I want to do. I'm gonna be MaverickGal's gonna be joining us in a little bit. She just got off work. I forgot to ask if she was available starting at 8 or if 8 was when. Anyway, that's on me. So I'm gonna do the thing that I'm really bad at and host on my own. Well, I guess just me and the sounds of the grocery store downstairs loading stuff up and down a metal staircase. So I think I'm gonna open this one up. Or pixel art. Yeah, you know what? Pixel art is gonna be the more fun way to fill the time while we're waiting. So back here. What do I want to do? What if I did Commander Sphere? That could be interesting as pixel art. Let's see, 175. Commander Sphere. That could be fun. Now I need to. Okay, yeah, I do remember the way that I can make chat appear. Hello, anyone who is here. I hope you are having a good time, enjoying the fact that we are still in a pre Harry Potter crossover world, at least for the time being. I do think that will not. I think that it's gonna happen, but we'll see. Move that there. Let's see. Art and CHI9LL. Honestly, that's fine by me. So, oh wait, actually, how long is Commander Sphere? Let me see. Letter library. Let's see, open up. Oh god, I have so many fonts. LMNOP. Pixel mix, I think 8. Command. Nope. Get rid of that. Oh, that just barely fits. Sure, let's go with it. Did I misspell that? I bet I misspelled that. Commander's Sphere. Did I mean Commander's Sphere? I could also do Kodama's Reach, which is a way better idea because it's. Let me just open up. Hold on. Cultivate. All right. Hear me out. So, just grab this. Cultivate. I'm just gonna replace that text real quick. Alright, so yeah. Sprite size 50%. Grab, yep. There we go. This is what I'm here for. Alright, Kodama's Reach. This is just literally the exact same card. I don't know why that amuses me so much, but it does. It's funny because I don't actually do the pixel art cards like this anymore. Like, I've changed the way that I frame things. Like, this is... Like, I think I changed, like, the size, everything, but, you know, why not, right? Kodama's Reach. There we go. Oh god, look at how wide that is. Oh, no. I gotta fix that. Oh god. I have... Ooh, look how wide those O's are. That's disgusting. I gotta fix this. Alright. Let's... Real quick, let me fix that. Oh yeah. So one of the things that we learned on the stream today is that they've just made shuffle like a set action. Simpsons did it first. You know, Simpsons being me because I'm the best. All right. Why is that offset? I don't know. Oh, that bugs me. That bugs me so much. I think what was it? 144? No, 144, was that the way? Yes, that's the way to do it. Hello. I am, Yes, I know I'm very sporadic about my stream schedule. Like it's literally just whenever I feel like. So I know for some people it's kind of impossible to just show up whenever I feel like, whenever that happens to be. Um okay, gotta move that over by 2. Oh, it's arcane? Oh, okay, never mind. See, this is yeah. Alright, alright. Arcane. Is it arcane sorcery or sorcery arcane? I guess I could just Google it. Okay, subtype. Cool. Alright, let's do sorcery arcane. God, these are just it's very important. I mean, as someone who kind of got into the game like right around Kamigawa, I say right around, like my first deck had 3 Chrome Moxes in it when I was like, what was I, like 10? I don't know. Okay, so let me see, I'm just counting here. That, on that side is, nope, needs to be up over there. The sad truth of pixel art is like 90% of the time I spend working on these is just like fiddling like this. Let's see. Okay. So, Kodama's Reach. I'm gonna look up the art for Kodama's Reach and put it up on my other monitor. Alright. Kodama's Reach. It's like a hand coming out. It's actually really similar to Cultivate, just like the other way, I think. I honestly can't remember like sometimes I see cards that like I based my original art like super close on it and I think, wow, that's my original, that's my version, isn't it? But no, it is not how that works. So yeah, where Kodama's Reach. It's like a big ol' hand. And I am not in any way talking about the modern Masters one or whatever it is, because that one sucks art-wise. I mean, it doesn't suck, but I don't like it as much. Yeah, big ol' scraggly hand. I love it. Okay. All right. Okay, so got that layer right now. New layer. Let's go. Kind of want. I do like that like orange block area. I think kind of like Cultivate. I'm just gonna like sort of directly adapt the original art. Nope, I need to make that contiguous. Kind of orange. I am on the right layer, right? Yeah. Okay. Kind of orange there. Oh no! Now I'm on the wrong layer. All right. Oh god. Yeah. So much fiddling. Okay, so we got that kind of orangey something. Then there's like a white. Fill that. It's got this kind of, and then more this like green swell kind of. Let's fill it in like like that. Yeah, that's a good starting point. And that's like, let me do. This is for those who haven't seen me do pixel art. This is where the magic happens. Is when I go into this shading mode, where I can just kind of very quickly draw in a lot of these cool shapes. Actually, I guess I've only done one pixel art stream before, so probably anyone here has not seen the previous one. So alright, got that. And that. Now let me switch over here. And then this one was there. Make that wider. Okay, I'm gonna turn the grid off. Alright, so that's a perfectly fine background to draw over for the moment. Alright, now, new layer. I want to do that hand thing. Simple ink, 2. I don't want to kind of like... I don't want to just like exactly recreate it, so I'm kind of doing like the vibe from memory. Although I think now that I can see it in the corner of my eye, I'm kind of exactly recreating it. Yeah, that's too exact. I don't like that. I want it to be like a little bit different. Alright, now let's do some shading drawing. Actually, let me... thicken that up. I agree that it does, in fact, gotta be grasping. So let me try this again. Like, I'm just trying to think like that. Like it's reaching out. Okay, yeah, you know what? I want it to be more like reaching out. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. All right, my brain has made a connection that I hadn't before, which is that the thing that is being represented on the card is the idea of the kodamas or whatever. I don't remember the lore of Kamigawa, are like reaching out onto this desert and like planting new land. Okay, cool. Now that my brain has started to function at least a little bit, I understand what's going on a bit more. Okay. Okay, fill that in. Yeah. I think I like that. I think I like where some of those fingers are right now. Let me move them in a little bit. That's what I wanted. Okay. There we go. That's a Kodama's reach. Alright, now I'm gonna make my brush a little smaller. You know, it's funny, I don't own this card, despite being like the most commander-centric person. You know, I don't really play other formats at all. But I don't have a single Kodama's Reach. I own exactly one Cultivate, too. It's just like, I don't know. Part of the reason is that the old Rampant Growth, the one that's like the tidal wave, is like, I think that's my favorite art in all of Magic. Well, definitely is now that definitely is now that my previous favorite, a bunch of Noah Bradley stuff, is no longer eligible, shall we say. So let's continue. So yeah, I think just because I love that Rampant Growth art so much, I just kind of like was like, Rampant Growth's fine. And it is. But sure, why not? I'll put a Kodama's Reach in a deck now. I'm still not gonna own any, I'm just gonna proxy this one probably. Or maybe I won't even bother printing it. I don't know. Alright. So let's see. Yeah, that's way too visually busy. Let's just delete that whole layer. It's not where I want to be. Alright. Layer, new layer. Although, if I wanted to, like, really... Let's see. Alright. So what's funny is I actually, I did once have a Spirits and Arcane Matter deck. It was led by, here, I actually still have the commander over here. Infernal Kirin, which is a bad card, and nobody should play this card. It was so bad. Cause like I have an issue with mono black decks where like I either have to build them disgustingly powerful or just absolute pile of garbage. So yeah, for a while I was doing Kamigawa mono black spirit tribal. I had key counters and everything. It was great. Here, I forgot to announce that I was streaming on my Patreon server, so live now. Twitch.tv/sheep. Oops. Wave. Okay, back to this. Alright. So I think I want to do like little bits of like green tendril-y stuff. I agree that Kamigawa was the best worst Magic set. So especially like when I was a kid, so I first started playing Magic in Onslaught, I think what it was. But I didn't actually own cards. I just like borrowed, because I was like what, 6, I think. So like I would borrow them at like the summer camp I was at. Mirrodin is when I started owning cards. And then Ravnica is when it started really being fun to own cards. Because everything before that was a little iffy on whether it was actually fun. Here, let's shade those in a little bit. Ooh, I really like that. So yeah, I hope that I'm not completely removing any illusion of how difficult pixel art is with all these like fancy shader tricks I'm using. But oh well. I mean, like I still do like tons and tons of just finicking around with this stuff, so you know. Ooh, that looks nice. I like that. Okay, so now I want to do a new layer. I want to do the ground again, but not like whatever the hell the first thing was that I drew. Here, let me just do a fill. Alright, let's do... that. 27. So yeah, I think MaverickGal should be joining us soon. And again, the scheduling issue is entirely because I was big dummy, and didn't actually ask what her actual availability was. But oh well, you know, it's still pretty chill. I assume that you will. We may actually get to hear her complete live reactions to those new Strixhaven cards, which should be fun if so. I mean, obviously she has a very different perspective than I do because she cares about formats other than Commander. Well, I guess I like Cube too, actually, which... but, okay, let's make those a little brighter. It's off to a good start. And now watch, yeah, just completely covered, of course. Okay. I think I might just want to get rid of the little bottom of this thumb thing. Oh, but it does look so cute, though. Oh, wait. That's the wrong... It's like this little thing. I could just make it appear in front of the text box. I do that so much, though. I get self-conscious now about how much I, like, put elements in front of the text box. But, you know... I do it for a reason. It looks cool. Also, I'm gonna move the thumb just, like, in a bit. That'll probably help. Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, now I can move this bottom part up a bit. Yeah, like there. And then fill in the... Alright, now that my elements... WotC does it, why not? I mean, so Wizards of the Coast doesn't actually make things break in front of the frame unless it's on a Planeswalker, which, or at least I think not. I maybe there's like secret layers that do, but I don't know. Wizards of the Coast is actually very scared of breaking the frame, aside from that one secret layer that you've done where they like really went off the what was it? The metal poster one, where they just completely threw the frames out the window. That's what I want them to do more of if they're gonna do secret layers, but whatever. Okay. What was I doing? Right, I was making the image the size that I want it to be at. Okay. So yeah, I make these like a little bigger in all directions because the way that I print stuff has some expansion outside of the frame, which I will not be sharing the exact methods, but you can find out if you're really curious. It's not hard to find. Okay. Might just be lazy and do a gradient fill. Yep, I'm gonna be lazy. Alright, let's go. Delicious gradient fill. She can't keep getting away with this. Look at that. Eh, cool. Alright, let me do that. Okay. Alright. So it looks like, okay, so on Kodama's Reach, are there like, there's like little spirits that are like pulling the arm out, right? Yeah, kinda. Not super noticeable, but I think I'll go do them anyway. I think I want to use these, just kind of make some little kind of implications of spirits more than anything else. Let me add a new, just a layer to darken so I can see what I'm doing. These sort of like spirity thingies. I do love the look of Kamigawa spirits. They're just like super chill looking. I don't know. I don't know how to describe my appreciation for them beyond that. But those look like garbage. let's get rid of this. Let's maybe just make it smaller. Nobody will notice that it looks like garbage. I think I'm just gonna pass on the little floating spirits, actually. Okay. So, wait, so now I'm curious, is there something that can just counter an arcane? Because, like, is Kodama's Reach just, like, all upside? Let me see. Scryfall. I'm gonna look up, see. Can you just counter target arcane? That seems like it would be like a draft card, right? Counter target arcane. Oh, 2 use? That'll do it? Alright. Counter target arcane spell. Yep, counter target spirit or arcane spell. That sure is a sideboard card. Oh boy. Alright, anyway. So yeah, people should really start running. What is this card? Hisoka's Defiance. To counter target spirit or arcane spell. I know Spirit Tribal is like a thing in Modern. Could that? Oh, I guess you would just play Counterspell. Wait, is Counterspell Modern legal? See, this is why I know nothing. Counterspell. Scryfall. Okay, yeah, it's no, it's Counterspell is not legal in Modern. Huh, I did not know that. All right, anyway. Shows how much of a pro gamer girl I am, I suppose. Which colors were we using for that? Okay. I have like 2 sets of almost identical greens that I should really just condense into one, but that I refuse to for some reason. So I'm gonna let's kind of put in some tree shapes, because this is like the tree trunk that's like reaching out. And honestly, something I've learned about drawing trees fairly recently is that it's not really about the actual trees, it's about the gaps between them. Especially when they're like tight together like that. Oh god, I probably just destroyed my makeup. Oh well. Okay, like that. Put in shading mode. Kinda light it up. Guess I should probably add like an even darker color, because the arm is darker than that. Maybe about to get our guest. Alright. I don't know why I'm bothering to draw stuff that will not be on the card, but, you know. I am extra like that. So yeah, like, I feel like what I've learned recently is that, like, these shapes are what define trees, not the actual shape of the trees. It's these little gaps between them that kind of... This negative space would be the real word for adults who know what words mean, but I'm also gonna add, I'm gonna have to add another... Alright, multiply, let's get a little... Alright, cool. Alright, she's just looking for her mic cable, so we are gonna be good to go in a sec. There we go. Okay, add this to my palette. I'm probably just gonna drag this all down. Nope, stop it. Just drag this down here so that I can get this continuous thing and go back to shading, and I will add an actual the darkness. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's how I do the pixel art. Let's make this sky something else. I actually kind of like that. Like, I'm not going to use like that exactly, but like this kind of vibe. Let's see if I can do this and this, maybe. Come on. All right, and then select the whole thing for some shading. A little darker around the trees, a little brighter up here. All right, and hello? Oh, I think I heard you for a second there.
Hello, hello.
Oh, there we go. Here, let me lower my volume. How are you on this wonderful day? I have been,
I am exhausted.
So good news. You have new magic cards to have an opinion on, if you want.
Boy. I work at a game store. We were all, oh my god, where?
So you have already seen them.
Yes.
Okay, then never mind. We don't have to talk about them.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, that's the most wonderful thing about not actually doing a magic show here is that I don't have to talk about magic if I don't want to.
Oh yeah, no. Like, it's nice still, but it's like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna pull them up on my stream thing. I haven't even like read them yet.
That was my thing. I was like, ooh, enemy commands. And then all my like coworkers got gathered around and they're starting to read all of them, and then I was later like, one of them was trying to tell me what they were, trying to tell me which one they thought was the best. I'm like, maybe I should read these.
Yeah, okay, let's see. Reading the cards. Ooh. Alright.
So the Golgarian Izzet ones are the good ones.
Alright, I'm gonna looking at my Golgari one. Okay. Mill 3 cards, return a land. I store card non-creature, non-land per. Oh, it's only 2 mana. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 mana. It's ridiculous.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I was like, oh, this looks, and it's a sorcery. I missed the part that there was 2 mana. Loses
it's
2
too much value for 2 mana, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I look at all of those, and each of those are strong abilities that I would be very happy to have.
Yeah, the first ability is like there was an uncommon in Theros that did that, and it was a 3-drop. I mean, it was also like a 1/3, but or I think it was a 1/3.
Yeah, there was also the God, what was it? Grizzly Salvage, which was 2 mana. It did like roughly the same thing, but for like 5 cards instead of 3 cards. Also, you can mill your opponents and then still get a land.
Oh, that's true. You can mill someone else. I guess that I know randomly the most valuable card I currently own is like a Kolgon's Command, which I looked at and was like, oh, okay. It's like foil or something, but I was like, it was just like sitting in my Alesha pile that of course I have. But I guess like in formats where like top. Oh no, it is sorcery though, so never mind.
But even then, like, you have fetch lands and other things. I don't know that this is necessarily legacy playable. I think it might be. But
you would know that better than I would.
I'm just like, I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know offhand, like, how many good non-creature, non-land permanents there are like that. But there's, like, gotta be enough that has some degree of value. Either way, your opponent wastelanded you. You got a card in your graveyard. Oh, mill your opponent for 3, and then you get it back.
For commander play, this thing's gonna rack up a kill count on Soul Rings.
Oh, that's great.
I do love that the art of the Boros one, they have machine gun scrolls. That's amazing. It's just really cool.
Great.
It's like really, really cool. And I also love. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Alright.
There's dwarves on.
Yeah, it looks like dwarf, Loxodon, a human, and an Aven in the background with possibly I can't tell if it's a statue or a sphinx.
Yeah. The leaders of each of the schools are elder dragons.
Oh.
Yeah. This is like kind of like reverse Tarkir.
Interesting. Because this is like so they're gonna go back in time and fuck it up. Okay, so make a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. That's interesting. I wonder if that's gonna be like a token that they use in the set, or if it's just made by this card.
I don't know. This thing feels like a fixed Boros charm to me.
Yeah, indestructible and haste. Haste is kind of like on a 5-mana spell. I'm not sure that's super helpful.
Exactly.
It's got lightning helix. It's straight up lightning helix on it. And then like an onboard tormenting voice, I guess.
Yeah. My guess is that you're only ever using the middle two options, and it's still too much for 5 mana.
I think the last one could be useful to just like to sacrifice a tapped land and play this to draw 2 cards. Because like if you were never going to use that land anyway, that is card advantage kind of.
So you also don't necessarily have to sacrifice a land. Let's say you got like a treasure token that you just happen to have. Oh, sacrifice that and draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
Easy.
Okay, so 2 damage to any target, 2 cards. So this is just Izzet Charm. But okay, it doesn't have the counter, but it replaces one of its mana.
So one of my coworkers was saying that he thinks this is going to be a card that like single-handedly brings back Izzet Phoenix from the dead in Modern.
It's pretty good.
Because it's like the fact that you could do it on end step, and you like cantrip, you discard it, so you discard the Phoenixes, and then you also make a treasure token.
Yeah, it's just, I'm realizing this is like, if you're making a treasure token, it's like, it's just, yeah, that's pretty good. Like, there isn't a mode on here that would never get used.
Right.
Alright, so I'm looking at the Slytherin one, the Orzhov one.
This is the most mediocre, in my opinion.
Target creature, combat trick, CM's mana value 2 or less, reanimate, draw a card and lose a life. Sorcery speed. Ugh.
Yeah, sorcery speed 4 mana. Like,
why?
These all feel very mediocre for that rate.
Also, the order that they resolve bugs me. Because you can't return a creature and then pump that creature.
Nope.
That irks me a lot. And then the Simic one, bounce something, annul something, counters, and shuffles.
The actual casting of Gaia's Blessing.
Yeah, seems totally fine.
I like that one because it feels like you main deck it for the bounce and the counters, and then you just happen to sometimes get additional value out of the other abilities.
Yeah, I guess the upside of the commands is just that like you can't really go wrong with them.
Right.
So
again, the only one I think that really isn't that great is the Orzhov one.
Mm-hmm.
But
yet another tribe name that nobody's gonna actually use.
Oh, absolutely.
Like the Zigantha, the tri, whatever the
Ketria.
So the the Teamer one and the. Oh wow.
Ketria is Jeskai, I think. No, that's I don't even know.
I couldn't place them.
The only one I know offhand, the only one I actually know for sure is Sabai.
Which one is that?
That's Mardu. And I only know that one because I actually specifically needed that Triumph for a commander deck.
Oh god. You know the boxing league thing that went around?
Yeah,
so
I'm not I don't know about all that.
I had my own issues with it, which I shared on Twitter. So somebody was like, "Do you want me to buy you a box?" And I was like, "I should say no on moral grounds, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
And in it was Ikoria, and my rares of the 6 packs of Ikoria were 5 Triomes.
Oh man.
None of which were in the colors of my deck, and an ultimatum that was also not in those colors.
Jeez.
Yeah, I got alternate art for Fertilid. Yeah, that was very, very silly.
You haven't done any of those, and I actually have access to like a ton of boxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never actually opened a whole box before.
I've opened way too many boxes.
Yeah,
But did you see the like box prices are like all over the place too? Have you like seen the prices on a lot of the older sets lately?
God, I was like, so a few days ago, I was showing my fiance like some old Magic set, some old Magic cards that I was going through in my garbage, and she was like, "Oh, those ones are super pretty. They're like Lorwyn ones, which I just adore the visual style on those." But
Yeah.
I was like, Lorwyn, I loved Lorwyn. We could just go get a box, and oh geez, God no, like
Individual packs are like $30 from that set, or were anyway. Like they've probably gone up.
Yeah, and then I was like, I have so much nostalgia for Time Spiral. I could do. Oh jeez.
Yeah, well, at least now you got Time Spiral Remastered coming up.
Yeah, that won't be underproduced.
Oh no, absolutely not. The way I hear it, there's less of that going to be in print than Double Masters.
Can I say something terrible? I still don't know what Double Masters was. Because I didn't care. I didn't care at the time. And then it had come and gone before I even figured out like was it was like $100 packs, right? Or
so they did offer $100 like specialty boosters.
Mm-hmm.
But like 75% of the time you got a mythic in them. And the mythics, were generally money as foils. You got 2 extended or 2 borderless foils, 2 regular rare or mythic foils, and a bunch of like lands from the unhinged ones and Battle for Zendikar, he who must not be named.
Oh yeah.
And then like uncommons and commons. And like there were some valuable uncommons too, like Mishra's Bauble and Basalt Monolith. It was like actually like I think the first time Basalt Monolith had ever been foiled.
I mean, now was this in a period where like it was like sleeve unplayable foils yet? Where
a little, but not quite to the degree. I mean, realistically, like the sleeve unplayable ones have always been around. They're just more like prevalent right now. And the other problem too is I find like they're warping the other direction from how they used to warp.
Wait, so they used to warp like inward, so
yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, like if you get like older foils, like there's a decent chance they'll be like kind of warping inwards.
Yeah, like when I was originally playing, I would like rarely sleeve anything. So many foils I had were just so beat up that it's like they would be flat anyway.
Yeah, it basically comes down to things like your humidity, the climate, and things like that. But I guess it must be more prevalent. The other thing I have to imagine too, in part, is that frankly, a lot more Magic players are using the internet now, and they're just readily more angry about everything. So
that is absolutely a factor in all things, though. Like, I don't know, every single Commander Legends foil I got is completely unplayable at this point, which just made me sad.
I've had a few that are like that. And they came like that out of the pack too. Like that's the thing for a lot of people.
Yeah,
that's how the secret layers get too and everything.
Ooh, yeah. Like I pulled an extended art foil Jeweled Lotus, and I just looked at it, and within 3 seconds I'd slammed it into a top loader, put another top loader on either side, wrapped electrical tape tightly around.
Yeah, Yeah, I know. Because, like, I'm even looking at it now, because, like, me personally, like, because I have an all-foiled out EDH deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am a privileged person, and I have the means to, like, get basically whatever I want for Magic. You know? So, I just get whatever. But my Shroom deck has, like, exactly 2 of each basic land in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been using Arena basics from Urza Block. And I'm like, I know the quality isn't great, but I really kind of just want to go in on that, the new heavy metal basics secret lair.
The other problem is just that they're so absurdly expensive.
Yeah.
Like, my perspective, obviously, as like a proxy artist who,
Oh, yeah. I know you're
like, I have a very, like, I just kind of, like, ironically, it kind of makes me forgive the secret lair stuff a lot more, because I'm like, well, who cares?
Right.
When another now unmentionable tried to burn down the format a few months ago. And it was just like, when somebody threw a tantrum over the mechanically unique secret lairs, and just was like, I'm gonna make a new format with blackjack, and also I invited Nazi friends.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he invited them, but once you start saying those things, they just show up.
Right.
So yeah, that all going down, I felt very, very silly about.
Wonderful. That whole ordeal was something. People just want to be mad about everything. Like, that's just kind of how it is at this point. And I'm just kind of tired of it. That's why I'm just like tuning a lot of it out.
Mm-hmm.
But I still get into it with people because I'm apparently a masochist.
Yeah, I actually had to go digging back through a lot of it last night, because I just put out a YouTube video about the possibility of a Harry Potter crossover, which I think is gonna happen.
I thought they said that they weren't going to, or something like that.
Maybe they said so on the stream. Like, I was like racing to produce it, because I was.
Yeah. No, I feel like I heard this a while ago, and like I think the way I understand it from what I've heard, and this might just be rumors or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a source on this, but the way I understand it, it sounded like they had something in the works, and it fell apart.
Mm-hmm. Like,
which if you think about it too, like, Hasbro has the license for Harry Potter.
Yeah, like, they've made board games and stuff. Like, in the video I just made, I said, like, from a pure business perspective, it would be idiotic of them not to pursue that. Like, the sheer brand synergy alone is just off the charts. But yeah, other problems. It does seem like a bunch of the Strixhaven cards, though, have like a vibe that will hopefully appeal to Harry Potter fans anyway. So maybe we'll get all the benefits without having the stupid turf garbage. That would be ideal.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, I have such all over the place feelings about all that stuff. Ugh, it's the worst.
Yeah. I mean, like the central argument of the video I just put out is that I think it would actually, like, as little as I want it to be the case, probably be good for Magic, because the Magic community is so bad that an influx of people who are just kind of average, like, normal people, which is what I'm gonna say Harry Potter fans are on average, would improve things.
Right. You don't like, frankly, there's enough people who are oblivious to the fact of that nonsense that, like, yeah, like, it's not good, but it's like, these people are, I think by and large, aren't necessarily malicious.
Oh yeah, like,
for being those kind of fans.
Where are my Slytherin socks that my coworker got me?
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's like every time I go back to my apartment doesn't actually have a washer dryer or anything in it.
Mm-hmm.
So every couple of weeks, I actually go back to my family's place back in Tampa, which is about an hour and a half away.
That's a hell of a drive for laundry.
Yeah, but if you think about it, though, right, the amount that I'm spending on gas and even time really is comparable to what I would be spending at a laundromat or something like that.
I guess.
And instead I get to sit there. My mom gets me food and whatever, and I get to actually sit down and while my laundry is going and do like actual stuff.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but the other factor too is, we figure it's just safer than, going to somewhere public right now.
Oh God, yeah. I haven't. I'm lucky. We have laundry like in our building, so I've not had to think about that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So like, but when I go back, they always have like, because they still, they're obviously the whole boomer crowd and everything, so they've got the cable and everything, and even though they use all of the streaming services, and but every so often it's just kind of nice just to flip on the TV and just be like, oh, what random garbage is on, so I don't need to actually sit there and like go through things. I don't need to go through a bunch of menus and try and find something and realize, oh, I don't know what I want.
Yeah, I think not having a TV and trying to like pick what are we going to watch on Netflix has made me appreciate just how much I valued someone else making that decision for me by them deciding what was on TV.
Well, I'm getting away from my original point here, so I'll just mention that real fast. But every time I go over there, though, right, they have the TV going, they randomly change it to something. So usually, when I go over there, I either see something like they have a Star Wars movie on because there just happens to be Star Wars on TV, or they're watching Harry Potter because Harry Potter just happens to be on TV.
Yeah.
And it's like, I tried to mention all the crap, but they're like, eh. And it's just like, they're old or whatever. You can't really get them to really get a grasp on it necessarily. And it's just like, it sucks, but it's like, whatever. But it also makes me realize just how much those movies kind of irk me to certain other degrees.
I mean, so I haven't actually seen a lot of the movies. So when I was younger, before transitioning, I was more or less identical to Danny Radcliffe. To the point I've had people ask me for autographs. Like,
yeah.
So I had like kind of like, despite like enjoying Harry Potter when I was a kid, I did not like the movies at all.
Right.
So like, what specifically comes to mind when you say like things about the movies that irk you?
There's not too many, honestly. Like, there's little things like, oh, over the years, the landscape of Hogwarts keeps changing repeatedly. Yeah, little things like that. But the one thing that, because what was it? Last time I was over there, they had the Deathly Hallows playing, and I was watching the final battle with everything, and Voldemort actually, like, when Harry like finally does like whatever, disarms him and kills him. Like in the books, like did you read the books?
I did. I adored the books when I was younger.
Okay, so like I don't know if you remember this, but in the books, Voldemort just like dies. He just like falls to the ground dead, and that's supposed to be like it symbolizes like, oh, he's just a man now, and he's just dying like any man would. And but in the movie, he like does this slow withering away into dust and everything.
Oh God!
And I'm like, I hate this so much because it kills all of the symbolism behind all of that. I get that it probably looks better for like, a movie audience, but like I hated it.
Yeah. Yeah, like so my day job, well, at least like my hypothetical day job when it's not a pandemic is I'm a teacher. So I have to like be constantly like reacquainted with Harry Potter cuz kids
Right.
or like if you're handling a class and it's like, "Oh, it's a rainy day at our summer camp. Guess what we're putting on the TV? We're putting on a Harry Potter movie." So yeah, like I don't think that most Harry Potter fans even know that J.K. Rowling is like. I don't think that J.K. Rowling exists like the mental space that like a real human being does.
Right. That's how like we're going back to like obviously magic again here by saying this, but like it's like the whole argument of all these magic players that like to scream about the game and everything. The reality is they're like the minority, like the significant minority.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a loud minority that ends up driving other people out of the game.
Right. And because there was like the because obviously I watch Magic Mike's. The three hosts are all friends of mine, so so I watch all of that, and they were talking about and going off about the idea of doing functional erratas on cards on MTG Arena, and Evan went on this huge tirade.
I think I saw that on Twitter earlier, but I didn't watch it. I just saw that it was like a long thing.
Yeah, he went off and like he started like yelling and screaming, and
cats and dogs living together.
Well, and he was like saying like, "Oh, I'm sorry," this basically like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you think this is going to confuse you," basically like calling out the common criticism towards that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he shared it onto Twitter himself, and I went through and I saw the comments, and what was it? Trying to find it here. One person was like, "So new players can be more confused if they want to get physical copies because you don't value new players and the possible confusion." And I'm looking at that like, I don't want to answer this because I know it's just going to cause like a spat and it's not worth my time. But I look at that and I go, your average new player isn't going to know about those changes. And they're not going to give a shit.
Yeah. The average new I saw something like earlier that was like talking about like average new players, and I just thought back to myself when I was a kid.
Right.
I thought that Gelectrode, which untaps when you cast an instant or sorcery, worked with Replicate, and we played we played in with what I think we called it refills. If you played all the cards in your hand, you just drew 7 cards. That's like the most like now I look back on that, I was like, God, what a broken nonsense that was.
Me and some friends had a format like that where we called it Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
Dragon, Elder, Highlander.
No, it was just Dragon, and this was like 7 years before I even knew what EDH was.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like at the beginning of your turn, you would play every land in your hand and then draw up to a full grip of 7. So like you could just like play a lightning fast game of Magic basically. And it was definitely broken, but it was fun.
Yeah, I know that like nowadays kids have access to better knowledge. Like I got back into Magic because one of my I get back into the Magic community, shall we say, because one of my students at a summer camp showed me a Spice 8 rack video.
Yeah.
Um,
I actually got my little brother back into Magic recently. He kind of did it himself a little bit, but I kind of encouraged it a little bit.
help him
the
along.
him and like a handful of his friends who had, they all knew each other. They were all, being relatively safe and everything. Were getting together for board game nights around like a couple months into the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them brought over for a board game. They brought over game night.
Oh yeah, that's like the pack that's like it's like 5 decks, right?
Right, but they're all like basic, more basic than basic, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like the barest bones of decks. And I looked, and my brother was showing me it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Magic," and I'm like, "No,
That's
no,
not.
that's
You are like little baby.
that's
Watch this.
that's some really boring shit. We're gonna get you some actual decks." And because again, I just have like, I earn a lot of store credit,
Mm-hmm.
so I basically went and bought him like, I think every Commander 2019 deck with like sleeves and such. I'm like, here, I've got some playmats. Here's some playmats. Here's some dice. You want some dice? Play Commander with your friends, please.
Yeah.
And now they like play a bunch of Commander. They're
Oh, God.
still all trying to be safe, and like they're talking about like just getting a couple of them together to do like a draft soon.
Yeah, once the pandemic's over, I'm gonna donate my This is like just the most playable chaff from like I had like tens of thousands of cards. I threw most of them out. Um, but yeah, I can't wait to finally not have to have mental energy taken up by having those cards existing in a
Oh
bin.
yeah, no, I get that. I'm sitting on a pretty sizable amount of cards.
Yeah, like I have like enough just like random good stuff lying around that I could build any commander deck I wanted to for place like $15 of ordered cards and I have the whole thing. It's just like I don't need what is my chair stuck on? I don't need all these cards and I don't need all these commander decks either, but that's a whole other matter and I need professional help on that one.
Right. For me, it's like I said, like I just happen to get enough store credit on a regular basis that I'm able to afford the cards. So like I actually usually buy the cards, also competitive player, so it helps me, stay competitive. But on the other side of that, I can just turn around and sell them if I need to. And like right now, that's helping me clear out some debt. Like
Yeah, you've been like breaking down an old cube, right?
Yeah, it was a cube. I went through my whole collection to see what other like small little thing, like 5 cent, 20, 10 cent cards I could ship off. I had some because I did some box opening.
Did you say
streams
5 and 10 cent cards?
Yeah.
Do you mean like a stack of 100 of them?
Yeah, you can just like pile them up and just send them all out and everything. Yeah.
Huh?
And
Yeah, that works.
and I had a couple sealed booster boxes.
Yeah, the sealed is where like that's where like the real hypothetical value is, right?
Right. So one of them was just an Aether Revolt box. I had bought it for like 150, sold it for like 120 or something like that. Like whatever. It was pretty close to like actual market value kind of thing. But the other one was I had a Judgment box. I bought it over the summer. And I got it for $350, which I get paid store credit with it. And I went on. I started like poking around randomly. I was like curious as to how much it was, because originally I had bought it for like to do like a box opening stream or something, and then just decided I didn't feel like it because I had actually been pulling back on my box opening streams a little bit more. And I said, okay, well, I'll just hold on to it. And I took a look at it, like, I want to say like a month ago. And I noticed the TCG price was like more than what I paid for it, but not by much. You know, like it had gone up, basically, just a little bit. And so it was sitting around like 400, 450.
Mm-hmm.
But then I went to Card Kingdom, and their buy list was buy listing it at 500.
Goodness.
Okay? So I finally got around to, I finally said, you know what, screw it. I'm going to sell all my, stuff. And I went to go make the buy list like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat down, pulled it up, and it was now buy listing for $800 instead of $500. And I bought this box for $350 like less than a year ago. So like, I was like, okay, I guess, sure.
I get. Oh yeah, I forgot there's a delay, but I have now drawn stonks in my pixel art program.
I need to actually follow you. I hadn't done that. I meant to do that. There
See,
you go.
I'm probably also about to guiltily follow you right back on Twitch, so don't feel bad. It's the same with adding people as friends on Discord. If I don't have a specific reason to like do it, or I'm not literally watching the stream, I'm never gonna remember.
Right, it's like, phone numbers even. Like, who looks up phone numbers
Oh,
now?
God,
But
I don't
sometimes you just happen to need phone numbers, right?
I hope that I never do, or I will die. Let's see. Here we go. Good old. Oh, no. Come on, shading. Stonks.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's definitely a good flip. I have been fortunate to not have accrued significant debt in my life.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did accumulate a little bit while unemployed earlier this year, and being able to zero that out was like...
Yeah, mine was weird. Like, when I first got my credit card and everything, I was trying to keep it low. Then I moved back from Orlando to Tampa. This was like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And got into a crash on my way back.
Ooh.
Totaled my car. And I had to go and then get a car. So then I now that has to go on my credit card. And some other things had to go on my credit card. And it just like slowly went up. And I could never... Because then I think it was also like things like... I had my surgery.
Mm-hmm.
I had...
I mean...
one or two other things. And it was just like... enough bills piled up where I couldn't reasonably get it down in a respectable manner. So then even like last year, or like I should say 2 years ago, I tried to like bring it down a ton. And maybe it was a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
And I brought it down like by a couple grand, but then I had to move. And then 3 months into that, COVID happened. Which meant that I then moved back from Orlando to Tampa because the place I was living in before was, quite frankly, for lack of a better word, it was a shithole.
Mm.
So, I didn't want to be there with all of this going on, and then I had to move back there. But wait, now I'm unemployed and have to deal with all of that, even though I'm not really going anywhere, spending any money. So it's just it was like a whole bunch of stuff. So it just all kind of added back up, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm looking at my cube constantly. I'm like, I could sell this, but then when the pandemic ends or dies down enough in a few months that I can actually see friends again, then I won't have this. And I won't be able to actually play with this.
I mean, where's my box of dual land proxies?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, wait, didn't I send you some of them? I can't remember.
You did.
Okay, I did.
You sent me the enemy ones, I think.
The enemy ones. I can complete the cycle. Hell, I can actually sell them now. It's like a fetch land. Did they say fetch? They don't say anything legally on them, but
yeah,
you could hypothetically use them as book Pokemon cards if you wanted. I don't
Right.
care.
I mean, enough people use Pokemon cards as tokens and whatnot, so...
But yeah, no, I've actually had a couple people who bought it been like, you are letting me sell out of my cube that I've been, like, holding on to longer than I should have.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm glad that, I don't know.
Like, I'm the kind of person that just likes to have them, and again, I am the exception to the rule where I actually have the means to do so, and it's basically like, if I don't spend my money on these cards, then the money's not really going to anything. So, it's like, might as well.
Yeah, I guess that is the nature of store credit.
So, like, it's like, at that point, again, it just becomes a, like, oh, I've got these cool cards, we'll do stuff with them. Oh, wait, I need to actually pay some debts or pay some bills. Ship them.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can just take the store credit, buy the reserve list cards, then sell the reserve list cards for normal money.
You hold the reserve list card.
That's what they told me about GameStop. I'm traumatized now.
Diamond hands, baby. Diamond hands.
God. My sister sent me a link to something. There was like hearings on that, and I'm just like, I can't.
I didn't watch any of that. I like saw it briefly pop up on my Twitter feed and went, okay, I'm like doing a quick scroll through this, and then whatever. I'm amused at the fact that there was a hearing involving Reddit and Robinhood CEO.
God.
Like, that was the extent of it. Like, I'm amused that this is happening, and this is happening before Congress.
It's also funny that they're like, I know that there was like a bunch of drama halfway through because like they were looking at doing like a movie deal. And it's like, how are you gonna make a movie that's about conversations that happened on Reddit? I want to know how they think they can adapt Reddit to a movie.
You'd be surprised. Like, I said that about, like, the whole Social Network when that came out and everything. I'm like, how do you make an interesting movie about the creation of Facebook? Like, how? And I watched it, and it's, like, actually one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it's really weird. Like, I've learned to not discount any concept. It's less about the concept and more about the execution.
Yeah, I guess as the absolute lunatic who did a scamming video about proxies in a mana crypt, I can't criticize anyone for bizarrely executed ideas that shouldn't work. But yeah, I definitely what on earth was I saying? It's late.
Oh no.
What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah. It's hilarious that got that out of control. I definitely do feel really bad for some of my friends who held on too long and lost serious money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like the reserve list stuff is probably going to like trend a little bit that way. Not obviously as hard. But here's how I look at it, right? Like, the way things were with the pandemic and everything, and before the pandemic, reserve list cards were actually they were trending down. Like,
you mean before the pandemic?
Yeah.
Okay.
They were at like lows, and I was like, "This is weird." Like, I'm watching Library of Alexandria prices go down. Like, this is weird to me, and so, like, when I see these prices, like, spiking, I just cannot help but feel like there's no way this sticks.
Yeah,
like,
I think a lot of it, I mean, there's obviously, like, a bunch of things. Like, obviously the fact that people aren't going to events and just saying, here's this, like, I have a mortgage to pay, here's this tropical island I had.
Right.
Like, there's just less, like, circulating going on is obviously part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that also part of it is that a lot of people who would normally be playing more competitive constructed formats
are playing Commander.
Yeah, being pushed to Commander when that's but they're being pushed to play Commander when that's not like their natural home. Like, honestly, I am the sort of person who could throw a pile of basics and literally just cards I had lying around in a deck and have a grand old time. But some people, that just isn't them, and they really want to optimize and say, if I'm going to have a Commander deck, it's going to be the best it can possibly be.
Right.
So the demand for these cards is huge.
Yeah. The way I do it is I do it like, I come up with like some weird theme around it and like go into Magic Online and just like find things around that theme and then whittle it down. That's kind of how I do it. But I know that's definitely a big part of it. But another part of it, the way I see it too, a lot of this is also collateral damage from the whole Pokemon boom.
So I don't know anything about that Pokemon boom, but I've heard it mentioned a bunch of times. So why don't you tell me all about it? Because I keep just passing the bluff check, be like, yeah, the Pokemon boom. I'm gonna finally learn something. What the hell is the Pokemon boom?
So basically, some major YouTubers and celebrities, openly started like opening old Pokemon packs or buying up like high-end, like high-graded base set Charizards, basically. And they did so very publicly. So you're talking like Logan Paul, like one of the biggest YouTubers.
Okay, it's all starting to add up.
Started opening a ton of packs and started doing a ton of stuff. And they started opening like base set packs, jungle packs, fossil packs, and then you had all of the people who normally open Pokemon products started like opening a ton more old school stuff. Earlier this year, there was, or last year, I should say, like I want to say, wow, was it maybe a whole year ago now? Like I want to say it was like April or May of last year. There was a YouTuber named Leonhardt, and he went and opened first edition base set pack that had a Charizard in it.
So how much is that worth, that Charizard?
Okay, so at the time, I think he said it was worth like $25,000. Then it got lost in the mail.
Oh, God.
When he sent it out to PSA to get graded.
Oh, no!
Okay? But it finally showed up, like, 5 months later. Like, it took forever to show back up. But when it finally did, it had gained, like, $30,000, $40,000.
I feel like now, like, also that specific Charizard is probably worth more.
Right.
Because that's not just any, that's the Charizard.
Right. And so you had a lot of hype around that. There was another video they had where he partnered with like a local store in Texas, and they also opened a first edition Charizard. And it was just, and so you just have this like hype. People don't have anything better to do.
Yeah, honestly.
So like everybody and their mother started getting on top of this and started getting into it more. And there's just this whole big hype. Sun and Moon was also like probably what am I saying? Not Sun and Moon. Sword and Shield was probably like the biggest Pokemon games in like years. In part because they were like on the Switch. Like the DS and 3DS were fine, but they weren't like the most exciting consoles or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, they didn't really have... Those Pokemon games didn't really have the same, like, hype or interest level as, like, Sword and Shield did. So, like, Pokemon was already kind of entering a bit of a renaissance. Like, it got more popular with, like, around Sun and Moon. Like, at least the card game did. But when you had all of this, it was basically, like, a perfect storm of whole things, like, happening all at once. But it's, like... If you go to, like, I don't know, like a Target or a Walmart or something now, and if you walk by the card games area, Like, you remember how you might have done that, like, before the pandemic or something?
Yeah, I
And you
remember
go by
going to
there,
stores before the
and
pandemic.
and right, and you would, but you would like always see
Mm-hmm.
like walls of Pokemon cards, maybe a little bit of Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh, but like it was a lot like walls of Pokemon.
I think at least around where I live, it was usually pretty evenly divided. It was like there was like the
Yeah.
Pokemon column, the Magic column, the Yu-Gi-Oh column, and then the like other stuff nobody
Yeah.
cares about.
I always noticed that Pokemon was a little heavier, but not
Mm-hmm.
like the most. But now you literally cannot find Pokemon on the shelves at all. It just doesn't exist. If you can find Pokemon, you're lucky as hell.
I guess that's definitely a bummer for people who just want to play the game.
Yeah. The most current standard set, like the most current released set,
Mm-hmm.
a booster box goes for $250 right now.
I'm gonna guess that Pokemon normally is not as expensive as Magic is.
Boxes are actually pretty even. A little more, maybe.
Okay. I also don't buy boxes, so I don't actually know how much
Right.
they normally worth.
I only know this because I like live at game stores.
Yeah, no,
so.
of course. It's just like I've never bought a box in my life. I still have it.
Yeah, I only really know I bought a Pokemon box 4 or 5 years ago on a whim. And I kind of know what the price was then versus Magic, and it was actually a little more, but not much. But the thing is, like, again, like, so like a box of Magic would normally be like $100. It's a little more right now because of the pandemic causing supply issues, but it's still like in that rough range. A Pokemon box is probably going to be usually about the same, maybe a little more, just because it's Pokemon. It's got that more name brand kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but now, like I said, the newest set, a box is $250. And like that's not an exaggeration either. Like it's ridiculous. Digimon Bandai just came out with a Digimon card game.
Oh yeah, I had a friend who was like telling me all about it, and I was just like, my brain is too far into Magic to understand this, but I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, like so I'm kind of, all my coworkers are obviously talking about it, and there's like a lot of hype around it. But the way I understand it, right, like the comparable game would be Dragon Ball Super. It's like it's the other game that Bandai makes and everything. So it's comparable. Their boxes are cheaper than Magic by a considerable amount. I think the boxes have 24 packs as opposed to Magic boxes having 36. So they're usually cheaper. I'm seeing boxes, at least on Cool Stuff here, since they're my employer. And I always have their site up on my computer. The booster boxes of the most current set are like $80. But I think I've seen them for usually like $65, $70. And Digimon boxes are like the same thing. They're like the same size and everything because it's the same company making the products. But the boxes are selling for like $180.
Wow, that is a hell of a jump.
Yeah, just because it's Digimon, it's low-ish printing.
Yeah.
It's just very popular.
Yeah, I'd heard from my friend. She said that like they weren't even gonna make it outside of Japan, and then like American fans like clamored for it until they did.
Yeah,
is that accurate? I don't know.
Basically, but that and like everybody wants it. It's like the hottest thing. Think kind of the Pokemon craze when like Pokemon first came out, but limited exclusively to actual like card gamers. Like that's like the energy that's going on with this game. Like everybody like really wants this game, but it's being allocated really hard because of all of the printing and supply issues with the pandemic is causing.
Yeah. I mean, I know like Wizards of the Coast is the biggest name, and they are having these kinds of issues. It must be murder on the smaller, on anything
yeah.
that's not them.
Right. It's like I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of impressed that Kaldheim released without a hitch.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I got a fat pack of it, which I was celebrating the fact that Nico was like the key that finally let me actually spend money on Magic products again, which I didn't do once between Theros Beyond Death pre-release and Kaldheim coming out. So yeah, I just had to get a fat pack, and besides the little pack of foil basics being just where's a couple of them? They're boomerangs. But besides that, it was all fine. Didn't seem like there was any trouble getting it. Everybody seemed happy. It was pretty nice.
Right. I mean, if you I don't know how much you remember Zendikar Rising. Zendikar Rising, so here's the way I understand things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wizards pre-prints this stuff in advance. Like, the stuff for Strixhaven is already printed.
Oh yeah, that's the reason the leaks happen.
So basically, the reason Ikoria and Core 21 went off without a hitch was because they were already pre-printed by the time the pandemic started and all lockdowns started happening.
That makes total sense, yeah.
But then we got to Zendikar Rising, which was then being printed during the actual pandemic itself.
Yeah, Zendikar Rising would have been at that start period where everything ground to a halt.
Right. And it was kind of the same with Jumpstart too. Jumpstart was also having the squad issue.
Jumpstart, I remember being so excited for Jumpstart. It just seemed like such a cute little product. Especially as someone who loves teaching kids how to play Magic, I'm like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open what were they, $6 packs too?
Yeah.
We're gonna open this one and this one. We're gonna mash them together. We're gonna play without sleeves. It's gonna be a grand old time, and we're gonna play Magic, and it's gonna be great.
That's when. So I had a friend, right? We had a local game store back in Tampa called Anthem Games, and they really fell apart in their later years. But one thing they actually started to do was they had a ton of bulk, but they couldn't really move it or anything. So what they did was they actually went and took the bulk and took 100 count or something like that of random cards that they just randomly pulled out of a box and shrink wrapped it and put it in a display. So they would have a whole rows of them, and they'd be like, you could buy this bulk for $2. So me and my friend, when we would get to the store an hour early or something, and we were just killing time until an event started. We would just take those bulk packs.
Oh my god!
And just build sealed decks with them.
That's amazing.
And just play Magic with each other. And it was not the most high powered Magic or anything, but it was fun. It was interesting. It was engaging. So when I saw Jumpstart, I'm like, this is that same thing. I could just play pickup games with my friends. This is great.
I mean, the thing that I thought about Jumpstart was that it seems like it would be to get the cube experience for people who don't actually like the process of drafting.
Yeah.
That just seems so perfect.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I'm one of my things was because I actually started doing a little series on with my articles on Cool Stuff Inc. And
it's possible that I just quoted you, I just attributed it to
yeah. So I was looking at that stuff and I was like, this is a gold mine for content. Why is nobody talking about custom Jumpstart? No one.
I mean, and then I know I saw you talking about it, and then 2 weeks later, everyone has custom Jumpstart.
A.E. Marling has been doing it longer than I have, and he's the only other one that I can actually pinpoint who has done constant custom Jumpstart stuff, because I'm he's doing it from the perspective of how Jumpstart was actually designed, and where it was designed to be a very beginner friendly product, so it was something you could just kind of pick up and play. I took it from the standpoint of why not actually make it build the packs like you're building a cube. Like put actual powered cards in them. Put actual dual lands in them. Put like not like obviously APU lands, but like shock lands or check lands. Ones that are more reasonably affordable or something like that. But like things that you could do to like create and craft like a cube-like experience with these jumpstart packs.
I mean, that was something I was actually interested in doing, was doing like a full proxy jumpstart kit where it's something I didn't end up doing just because I have no one in person to play it with, but like the idea of just like I can print whatever I want into them. So like this pack has Gristlebrand and this one has Contract from Below and like a Scrubland. It's just like anything goes kind of nonsense.
Yeah. And it was like I just started looking at it all, I'm like, there's so much potential here. Why is no one talking about this? Why is no one doing anything with this?
Yeah.
I'm just like, because it's like you could just build a cube with it and do and create the experiences that you want to have with it. And it was just like, there's so much potential here.
Yeah, the only issue I could see being the only thing I could see being an issue with that is like keeping track of what card goes in what thing. I guess you could just use like differently colored sleeves.
No. So here's the way you do that, okay? You use the checklist cards from Zendikar Rising or Kaldheim. They're just blank slate. They're blank slates. So you just write in what the card list is, and then put it with the pack itself, and then put the pack into like a Cubumajig.
Huh.
So you just like have the pack right there, and it's just ready to go.
Okay, I got it. Okay, all right. I was like the woman doing like conical sections math meme.
So then if you do that too, you can also take the Cubumajig and actually like write numbers on the top of them or something like that. And you can use a random number generator to determine what packs are being picked at random. So then you can just do random, just full random jumpstart, and like actually make it like really interesting like that.
Someone on my Patreon Discord server actually set up like jumpstart, but for Commander, they took a bunch of the partners and they made like half a deck for each of like a set of them, and I
heard about that too.
Yeah. So I was playing this game. Like one player's got Bruna and Gisela as partners. I'm playing like a Nephilim as a commander. This person has like the most bizarre pairing of commanders I've ever seen, and they're winning. Oh god, I do love Commander, but I do feel so much for the people who have kind of been forced into Commander where it's not their thing. Like normally.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, it's like there's other things too. Like, as much as I love it and everything, I just can't. I love the format, but I really can't get into webcam Commander as much. I think that's partially for me. For me, that's partially because like I don't have the setup for it constantly, essentially. So like every time somebody like asks me, "Hey, do you want to play webcam Commander?" Okay, let me find the specific webcam. Let me figure out where it is. Let me plug it in. Let me clear off my desk. Let me refinagle everything around. Oh, wait, I also have to put the webcam, like, right to the edge of my desk, and there's a non-zero chance that I will knock it over. Yeah. Like, it's it's a hassle.
I was lucky enough that as a teacher at the start of the pandemic, we don't actually do like live teaching demonstrations anymore because it just never works. But like I got like I actually already owned a really good webcam, and like I have like a boom arm type thing. But yeah, it also like there's a playmat that eats up like 2/3 of my desk. It's covered in garbage right now. Just like random dice and earrings and fake elf ears. I'm gonna put the fake elf ears on.
it's just hard to like to keep up with. You know, it's a lot of maintenance. I'm like, I already do a little too much stuff. It's like, ugh.
And yeah, in chat had MTG Finance Bros Ruin Commander. Yeah, I think that's happening right now more than ever before. Is the idea that people who like they don't really want to be playing a casual format, but it is the only way to play because of webcam stuff. Like people who are playing to win is like if you're going on the webcam honor system, God help you.
Yeah. I know certain games are actually managing to make it work. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually is successfully doing webcam.
I thought that Yu-Gi-Oh! Had like a really robust like online client that was being.
No, they don't.
Oh.
A lot of it's like fan made.
Oh yeah, it's a fan. That's what I'm thinking of.
So
Yeah.
so it's not like official. So there's not like an official thing to run tournaments on like that.
So
and.
In chat, I would kill for a 60-card multiplayer format. Have you heard of Brawl? Oh god.
Let me tell you. Sit down, kids. Old woman Kendra is going to tell you all about this lovely little format called Emperor.
I mean, when I was a kid, we played a format called Brawl. It's where all 5 of us that had our magic decks, which like they were like anywhere up to 40 to 75 cards because we had no idea what the hell we were doing. Where we would all just play Magic and just play multiplayer, and there didn't have to be like the conceit of a commander or it being singleton. It's just you can just play multiplayer. It's okay.
I mean, Emperor was a blast. Do you know how Emperor works?
I do. Is that the one where like there's like the king and there's the people to the side and you need 6 and there's like area of effect rules, which is like
yes.
Okay, then I do know it. Though I've never played it.
I've played it like 3 or 4 times. It's really fun. We used to play it during when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
And because we would have like 10 people who all like had EDH decks and were just kind of chilling and wanted to get games in, but we didn't really feel like doing like, you know, full 6-player EDH game or something like that.
God, that's just hell.
So we were just like, you know, hey, why don't we try Emperor? And I had to sit there and explain what Emperor was. And they're like, okay, let's do this. And it was fun. And it's fun because, you know, there's enough like variety in what you're doing. Like, and I guess there's also like, you're playing with 6 players, but you're not really playing with 6 players.
You don't have to manage. Like, I remember when I was at college before the pandemic, like we would end up in these god-awful 6-player games, and like I already have a vision disability, and like somebody would be over there doing like God knows what, and then just at some point be like, oh well, you know, the Kiki Jiki, and I was like, the Kiki Jiki, the what? Like,
yeah,
like what? Like I can't see his board.
Exactly.
That one of those games did end in the best thing ever, which is where like someone got greedy with their Aether Flux Reservoir, and I was like, what? Don't target me with that. You're not gonna like what happens. They were at 53. They went down to 3. I was like, all right, lightning bolt.
And the trigger disappears into
Yep. And the trigger is exiled from the stack. I've once tried and failed to deflecting SWAT an Aether Flux Reservoir too, but they just started casting spells in response and activated again. And I was like, all right, you got me.
Yeah. Guess you got it.
Never didn't have it. Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Star Magic, I actually I did play that too. I was actually thinking about that. We called that Pentagram, but yeah.
That seems like an interesting way to do it. But yeah, like I don't know. I think that multiplayer Magic that uses 60-card constructed rules is like it's weirdly unexplored territory at the moment. Like like it's you can play multiplayer and put like 4 ginger brutes in your deck or whatever. Oh god, I want to do that now. All right, time to go rustle up my Patreon Discord. We're doing 60 card constructed multiplayer. Oh god, oh my god, it's like 10 o'clock. All right, I am tired. I think it's probably about time to wrap up.
That sounds like actually kind of awesome.
Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's wonderful to get to talk to people who play Magic without it being predicated on playing Magic. It's so nice. You can talk so much more.
That's kind of how I've been lately, honestly. Like, to be honest, like the format that I kind of got known for was Pauper, but Pauper is like kind of not the best format right now.
I've been able to gauge Pauper just by like you're talking about it, despite me not like really knowing anything about it.
And the whole community behind the format like kind of doesn't like me.
Oh geez.
So they liked me at first until I made one article suggesting that a bunch of bans should happen to help rebalance the format, and everybody was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" And started like, I had one person came into my Discord server, and they were like, "Thanks for being such a great advocate for Pauper and helping make the format. Yay, like Pauper GP 2018 or whatever, because this was like obviously a couple years ago now." And then or 2019 or something, and then I put out the article, and the same person started posting in like on Reddit where I had posted the article and was like, "Kendra's just trying to make elves better. She's just trying to make elves the best deck rather than doing all this and just doing this is like how this community acts. Like they've got a bunch of alt-right people. There was like one person who would actually like play like Burn religiously, and we all found out that he was actually a moderator for the subreddit R the Donald.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Like this is how bad it gets.
Wait, that subreddit had moderators?
Yeah, apparently.
Today I learned.
And so like God. It was terrible. And there's other problems too, like there's like basically like 3 major geographical areas where Pauper is prevalent. It's the US, North America, Italy, and Brazil. And there's obviously
I imagine that metas are wildly different in one of those 3 locations.
Right, exactly. They're definitely very different. But then you also have the cultural clash too. You have the clash of personalities because you're the way Italians handle things is different from the way the Brazilians handle it, and the way that the Brazilians handle it is a lot different than the way like the Americans handle it. And they are, very passionate bunch, but that also can have it so that they also come across a lot more abrasively. And there's also a bit of the language barrier as well. So it just all makes it
snowballs.
Right, it's just a lot. It's several problems and several issues, and
that just kind of feed into each other.
Right, they feed into each other. Everybody eats each other apart. The best pros are all talking about, all have different opinions on format health, and I made this random brew by doing this thing to it. I broke everything. Other people suck because they're just not playing the best deck. Blah blah blah, and it's like,
As I just said in my YouTube video earlier today, the problem with the Magic the Gathering community is the Magic the Gathering community.
Exactly, and it's like it's exhausting. Like I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, I love making content, but I really kind of just don't want to make content anymore. I want to go back to like being a nobody that just randomly grinds on Magic Online for fun.
Yeah, I feel immensely grateful that like the kind of content I do is just so disconnected from all of this. Like, I just draw on Kodama's reach. I don't have to care about any of this shit.
Exactly.
I'm in a very fortunate position, that, like, I also don't really have a financial stake in Magic, because, like, furry art is my main income.
Right. So, and for me, it was like, so like Pauper kind of sucks, right?
Mhm.
Like, I don't enjoy playing the format that I'm basically an expert in, and the community hates me. So like, it's not uncommon for me like to load up a league on Magic Online and have one like someone just like sit there and shit talk me like the entire time. And
That just sounds miserable.
but then not only that, but then you had all of the other formats, which were also a mess up until like Monday. So, like, there was just not a lot of incentive to play Magic in the first place.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that we're in the pandemic.
Yeah, I was a little interested, like when Lily got me to install MTGO, I was like, I could rent some cards. Like, once I figured out how the hell that worked, I was like, I could rent some cards and play some Legacy. Like what are all these fun Legacy things? And I just looked at the deck list and I was like, never mind, I'm going back to Commander. I don't remember what it was at the time, but there was something stupidly broken, and such is life.
I like, and that's why I liked Pauper, was because it's like I could build the whole format for like basically a couple $100, but it's like that sounds like a lot to some people, but it's like you do all that by grinding. Like, okay, you buy a deck, you play through you play the format a couple times, you learn your deck, and then oh look, now we've won enough tournaments that I have enough tournament entry to keep me going.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can also buy another Pauper deck with I bought Elves, right? This has like all of the expensive staples that are in Stompy. And so there's overlap there. And so now it doesn't cost nearly as much. And it's like if you get Burn, then you have some of the stuff for Boros. Oh, but you bought Boros, so you actually have some of the stuff for Affinity. And it's like there's enough overlap between all of the staples that it's like you can just like really slowly kind of like grind up to getting to that point. Yeah. And it's like it really wasn't that hard. And then it was like, okay, grind up into everything else.
Yeah, I guess I just don't have the patience for it anymore, I guess. Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm just, like, for myself, if I want to play, like, a kind of non-social game at this point, I just feel like I'm gonna open up, like, Slay the Spire or something.
Yeah. Like, I actually, like, the game I've actually just finished was, like, I had been, finally made myself sit down and play through, Phantasy Star 2.
Mm-hmm.
For Sega Genesis. It was, like, one of the first games I ever touched. And I tried playing it like a decade ago on like a Sega Genesis collection. And I forget what happened, but something happened that I just didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I never got around to actually going through and finishing the game. And so now I actually went through and properly like actually played it, beat it, finished it. And it was like, oh, this is cool. And like I'm actually playing other games. Like honestly, we got, obviously really wrapped up into this, so I didn't even really do very much in general. Like, I didn't, like, I'm not even really browsing the internet or anything like I normally would be. But, like, I had actually plugged in my little Sega Genesis controller to be like, yeah, I'll pull up, like, Earthworm Jim on the side or something like that and play that while I'm just, like, sitting here talking.
Yeah, that is. I also know that's one of the wonderful things about coming on here is that people can do whatever the hell they want on the side. There's no need to be presentable. Just sit in your underwear, browse Twitter, do whatever. Anyway, with that, thank you so much for coming on. You have been a wonderful guest, and thank you for finally telling me what the Pokemon squeeze was.
Yeah,
I could only have passed so many more bluff checks.
It's the craziest thing, too. Like I said, like, the only reason I stumbled into it is because I think it was, like, the professor responded to Leonhardt. And so, because I think Leonhardt, like, discovered something with, like, YouTube's algorithm last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why his, like, views were suddenly tanking, even though he had, like, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And the professor mentioned or replied to him because obviously similar vein, really popular YouTuber for different card games, so they're obviously like friends to some degree. And I went and checked him out, and I'm like, oh, cool. He's just casually opening up Pokemon product, and I'm like, but he's also nice. He's enthusiastic. He's cool personality.
Oh, his views tanked because he was sharing space with Logan Paul. Right, that makes sense.
No, it tanked because of some of the new restrictions that they had placed last year with a lot of the
product
is
opening
this
stuff?
is this age appropriate kind of thing. And because I don't know if you remember, there was that whole scandal like a year and a half ago.
There's always like you've got to check 2 boxes. Is this age appropriate? Is this for kids? And the correct answer is like, this is not for kids, but it's appropriate for kids.
Yeah, and that was the thing, because it was like somebody basically stumbled into a pedophile ring or something like that.
Yeah, I remember it vaguely, but
like what he did is he found this thing like kids doing things like eating a popsicle, innocent thing, right? But like these people would get into the comments and keep commenting on it, and the guy realized like if you clicked like 2 of those, if you clicked one of those videos and then went into the related videos and clicked one of those, the YouTube algorithm would like constantly just play you those videos nonstop, and every single one that you went into would be like nothing but like pedophiles sharing like timestamps or information or and it was like whoa. So it sparked a whole big thing, and they did some whole changeovers. But there was like a glitch with a lot of that was causing people to for videos to get flagged for some people, but not others. And so like it wasn't showing up for some people where it was for others. It was a weird thing. I forget what happened, but I ended up just following him just because of that discussion. Just because I'm like, this is chill. This is something a little different. I get to learn about some Pokemon stuff basically, and I ended up picking it up, and it was like, and then I slowly started to see what was happening with this game, and then all of a sudden I go onto my feed and like all of the MTG finance people that I follow, because obviously I work in that industry, and I'm following these people, and they're all of a sudden, it was like Cassie and Jeremy and like like 2 or 3 other people were all suddenly talking like like they're all have people looking for Pokemon cards from them, and I was like, what? What? Oh my god! Okay.
Oh, you
I
find
need to show
it?
you this. No. This is something different. So, did you read the whole thing about the mystical the mystical archive cards?
I saw what they look like, but I didn't read the whole thing.
Okay.
What's up?
So they said there's going.
Oh no! I just knocked my earbud out. I can't hear you. Give me a sec. Oops. Sorry about that.
So they said there's going to be a some Japanese versions. And they just dropped, and they look insane.
Ooh.
I'm gonna put them in your in the chat here, but you gotta check these out. These look unreal.
Alright, let's open up.
These like literally just dropped.
Wait, okay, so those are oh my god!
Yes!
Oh my god! My reaction is definitely made worse for viewing with the fact that I didn't make it like go up on screen, but oh my god. Wow. That is incredible. also, I love how they don't use the standard card frame. I'm just a real big fan of the fact that they are no longer married to the original card frame.
Wow, those are so good though.
Yeah. I'm gonna for the benefit of anyone who wants it, I'm just gonna quickly put them into my art program, and then switch my inputs over to art. Okay, there's one.
Yeah, so this is the Demonic Tutor, the Opt, and the Swords to Plowshares. These are incredible.
Yeah, they're just one of my favorite cards from Eldraine, which is my favorite set of all time, mixed as it may be, was the Embereth Shieldbreaker showcase.
That was
the art
great.
of that was just incredible, and that Demonic Tutor in particular has that same exact vibe to it. Like,
it's so good.
That is very pretty. I love that.
Like, okay, I guess I'm buying a Japanese box of this set or something, because boy howdy.
Move these. Move it. Yep, there we go. Alright. I am probably going to pass out. So, I will say...
Yeah, I know, I'm right there with you.
Let's head out. Thanks so much, and bye, everybody.